did the finish there? I mean, it seemed like seemed like he was stunned there for a second, or like he thought maybe that he got poked or something. What happened there?
Yeah, after I hit him, he kind of fetaled and then went all the way to the ground. I didn't know what the deal was. I wasn't going to take the chance and let him recover, so I just jumped on him and started hitting him in the body. He had his head covered pretty good.
Did you know at that point that he's kind of rolling over, waiting for it to be over?
I mean, whenever you see a fighter fetal and then fall down on the ground, you know something's wrong, and they're not thinking straight. So I didn't want to take any more time, and I jumped on him and I started hitting him until they stopped the fight.
Rick, this is Dave from the Hammer MMA. Now, you own wins over Jake Ellenberger and Johnny Hendricks, as well as Thiago Alves, who all of them are Johnny and Jake are fighting in the main card tonight. Is this win over Quinn Mulhern, does this get you back in that main card picture or that title weight contender hunt?
I don't think that's really up to me. I think that's up to what the fans want to see. I think that's what's up, or it's up to Joe Silva. I'm not going to make any requests right now. I'm just happy that I got the win and go on with training and get ready for the next opponent.
What do you make of that? I mean, this is a card where they got kind of a mini little welterweight tournament going on in the main card, and you have wins over some of those guys, like you said, and here you're on the Facebook prelims.
Yeah, I've had that question before, and the thing is I've lost 3 out of my last 4 fights, so it's kind of expected. I'm not going to complain. I'm just happy that I'm still fighting in the UFC, and I beat Johnny, I beat Jake, but you know what? They're winning fights, and I lost fights. I expected it.
Preparing for this fight, did you kind of go into this feeling, my job's on the line, and did that change anything, kind of being this kind of a necessity role?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I mean, definitely the whole fight camp, that's the whole thing that was going through my head. My job is on the line. It's like I'm not going to get like two saviors in a row, having 2 back-to-back losses, and just because it's like I've had a couple exciting fights and whatnot. But the weird thing is I wasn't nervous going into this fight. I mean, you got the nerves going on because you're going to fight, but I was the most relaxed I've ever been. So even though my job was online, I don't know, something kind of clicked.
It was part of that, maybe that for Quinn Mulhern coming over from Strikeforce, it's being a very big jump up in competition for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, all of it's probably part of it.
Or you just fight better under pressure and fight better with your back to the wall?
That might be the case. I have no clue. But this fight, it seemed like my eyes opened for the first time.
What does it do to you in training if you're thinking, through an entire run-up to the fight, that your job could be on the line?
Well, it really makes you want to push harder, push past your limits. And when I say limits, it's like the point where your inside or your inner voice is telling you, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this? This sucks. And then you tell it to shut the hell up and keep pushing on. And you do that day in and day out. And luckily I got great coaches. Pat White and Robert Velarde had my back the whole way and make me push through that limit every single day, nonstop.
Now, it seems like in the welterweight division, we have a lot of talented wrestlers who also have knockout power. How do you stand out in a pack of guys that includes yourself, John, Jake, Tyrone Woodley, Josh Koscheck? There's so many of the powerful knockout wrestlers now.
Well, the only way to stand out is knock more people out or start hurting people, I guess. Send them to the hospital. I guess that's going to be the only way to separate it. Or we just start facing everyone off, and whoever comes out on top comes out on top.
So do you like the idea of this sort of mini welterweight tournament? Would you like to be in it if they do it again?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I have, at this point, I'm just going with the flow. I don't have any requests. I don't have any demands. I'm just training with this new sense of feeling of, like, knowing that I got what it takes.
And obviously you're a very workmanlike fighter. Do you think that there's more of a role for entertainment and showmanship, kind of like Nick Diaz has done, to try to promote yourself and get some of the opportunities that...
I mean, I've been in the UFC for a while, and, I've not been the best at cutting interviews and whatnot. Not saying that I'm not going to get good at it, but, I'm not really that kind of a person. I could step up and, like, do what Diaz does, but it wouldn't really be sincere. I mean, I can't change who I am. So I'll go out and I'll fight, but as far as like kind of playing a villain role or whatnot, that's not me.
Do you ever feel pressure from the UFC to, like, make yourself into a certain type of role or character, or give yourself like crazy nickname?
No. That was from my coach. My coach named my nickname after he saw me fight a couple times. But as far as the UFC, like kind of picking things out and if you like make a quote or you have a different context in the quote, and then they like kind of piece different things together and make it seem like you're a bad guy. You know what? If they want to do that, that's fine. And most of the time, I'll sit back and I'll be like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." Like, I wasn't meaning that, but it sounds better that way, you know. So as far as the pressure is concerned, I mean, they can do whatever they want, and I'll just go with the flow.
And just lastly, when you're in the ring and you're fighting, is there a certain place that you go, like you feel like you just kind of stop thinking about all sorts of other things, or are you pretty conscious and you know, it's the same as the way you train and go through the rest of life?
Well, other fights, there's been like some times where it's like everything just starts kind of like static on TV, you know? It's like you don't see the clear picture. But this fight, it's like the clear picture was there the whole time. I had visualized and I had gone over my game plan so many times. It's like I didn't have to think about anything. All I had to do was just be there and let my body do what I had it do in my mind a million times.
So do you think you reached kind of another level in this fight, and that's like a way that you like to fight and you're going to try to work towards in the future?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it seems like the door opened or something. I mean, I've said it already before, but like this fight just seemed like it was just like I reached the top of the mountain, you know, as far as, this is how I need to do it, you know, and yeah.